Alright YouTube, what's good? It's Hightower 5000 here today, bringing a brand new quest guide. Today's quest is going to be Missing Presumed Death. I can start this quest by speaking to Brother Samuel, who is located on the road to one of the temples east of Varrock. This is my location right now, as you can see, so it's on the way to this temple over here. Not at all sure how you pronounce this temple. Basically how I got here is I teleported to Varrock, I teleported to Varrock Central, and then what I did was I ran all the way here. There are alternative methods though, which I'll go over in a second. There is no skill or quest requirements for this quest. The items you're required are you're going to need at least 12 inventory spaces, and you're also going to want to bring some combat equipment. Now you want to bring some good combat equipment just because, as you can see, the line below it says this quest contains combat that will be skilled to your level. It's not going to be very difficult. However, if you don't bring any combat equipment, then you might struggle a bit. I've also brought myself some food as well, so this is my inventory setup. Now the recommended items for this are a Wicked Hood, just so you can teleport to the Wizard's Tower very fast. If you want to get to here very quickly, which will have to come back to this location once or twice, if you have a dig site pendant, then that will help you out. Or an elf altar teleport. Not at all sure where the elf altar is. I think it is just to the west of us actually, so a faster way of getting here anyway. If not, you're probably going to have to do what I'm going to have to do and walk from Varrock or Canifis. Anyway, so let's get this quest started. So what we're going to do is talk to Brother Samuel. It says down here as well that Missing Presumed Death is a fully voice acted quest which features live recorded music. We suggest that you turn the sound on in order to get the most out of it. I'm not going to be turning this on just because I'm making a quest guide out of it, but if you're going ahead and doing it, then you could if you want to. Select option number 1, it's okay, I can help you. And then it doesn't really actually matter what you select, so I'm just going to go ahead and select option number 1, something's happening to their bodies. Doesn't matter out of them 3 which you choose. And then you're going to get the quest prompt, so you're going to go ahead and accept the quest. Continue through the chat and you'll be given this investigator's notebook. So first thing you're going to see is there's going to be 3 bodies all around this monk here. So what we're going to do is go just north of where Brother Samuel is, and we're going to come over and investigate this. What you're going to have to do is go through all the options of all the 3 dead monks. So what you want to do is I'm going to start off option 1 here, then option 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Once you've done that one to the north there's one just to the south of Brother Maxwell as well. Do the same thing again, go through all the options. And then just to the west of that there's actually another slaughtered monk. You want to go ahead and do the same thing again. As you can see here in the chat, it's saying you add additional clues to your notebook. So if at any time if you are confused about what you've managed to discover and what you've not, look in your notebook. So once you've searched that monk, you're going to see this tree here. There's an option to investigate it. You're going to see that there's an arrow actually in the tree if you do look closely, and then it's going to come up with another clue discovered. Then from there what you want to do is just go a little bit to the east from Brother Samuel, and then you're going to see this plant here. It's going to be shining a little bit. You want to go ahead and investigate that as well, and then basically you're going to see that there's this ring here, a lost ring. After you've found them clues, what you want to do is go back and talk to Brother Samuel. Select option number 2, I think I've found all the clues. Select option number 2, come on, you must remember. So from here what you want to do is follow the path up to your northwest, and you're going to see there's a blue box around a house just to your northwest. So you're going to go up here, and then you're going to find the odd old man. Go ahead and talk to the odd old man, and then select option number 2, ask about slaughtered monks. And you're going to ask if you've seen anything strange lately. You're then going to select option number 1, persuade him. You're then going to select option number 1 again, persuade him. For a third time we're going to select option number 1, persuade him. Finally this time though you're going to select option number 2, threaten him. So once you've actually got the information out of him, what you want to do is head back southeast and go back and talk to Brother Samuel. So what you want to do is select all 3 options here. And then just select anything again. Then go through all these options as well. It really doesn't matter in this quest. If I ask you to pick anything, it doesn't matter because they all end up going to the same outcome, so don't worry. So if you go into your quest log now, it's going to say, I've spoken to Brother Samuel, I should see if the killer has left a trail when they escaped. So now what we want to do is head east along to the temple, and then if you see south of that, basically the blue box has now moved. So you want to go into this area here. And then as you can see here on the floor, there's going to be this elf ranger. You're going to want to go over to the elf ranger and investigate it. Again, you're going to want to go through all the 5 options. So just to the north, again, what there's going to be is a plant that is sparkling. What you want to do is investigate that. You're then going to find this time a pendant, a lost necklace. From there, what you want to do is come over to the fence, and you might need to look closely actually. The colour is not the best, but as you can see there's a blue bit of cloth on the fence. There's the option to investigate fence, so go ahead and do that. And then you're going to find another clue, and then if you just go to the north of that, there's going to be a bench facing out to the river. You want to investigate the bench as well, and you're going to receive this mysterious letter. From the bench, before we go back and talk to Brother Samuel, what you want to do is just go west and a little bit south, and you'll see the beacon icon on your mini-map. What you want to do is run over here, and then there's going to be this person here called Bully's Sharpen Eye. Basically what you want to do is select option number 2, ask about the murdered elf. Select option number 2, threaten him. Select option number 2, threaten him again. And then finally select option number 1, persuade him. Once you've done that, what you want to do is return back to Brother Samuel. So once you are back at Brother Samuel, go ahead and talk to him. Select option number 2, I think I found all the clues. And then he's going to take a look and take some of the stuff off you. And then select option number 2, we'll get to the bottom of this. Once you're done talking to Brother Samuel, what he's going to suggest is you go to the Wizard's Tower and speak with Wizard Valnia. So there's many options of getting this. Is why I brought my Wicked Hood. It obviously wasn't a necessity. You've got other options of using your Amulet of Glory. You could always go ahead and just use the Lodestone and go to Draenor as well. I'm going to very quickly activate my Wicked Hood here, and I'm going to teleport out that way. This is because it takes you directly to the Wizard's Tower. If you're like me and you have used a Wicked Hood, then what you want to do is come into this beam here in the middle and then just descend in the beam, and it'll take you down into the Wizard's Tower. What you want to do is make your way to the bottom floor of the Wizard's Tower, and then what you want to do is go to the door of the Wizard's Tower. If you're coming from alternative methods, you'll probably be running over the bridge from the north. Anyway, so as you can see here, there is the Wizard Valina here. What you want to do is go ahead and talk to her. And then select option number 2. I was told by Brother Samuel that you might be able to help us. You're then going to show Wizard Valina your notes, basically all your clues that you have previously gathered. You're then going to select option number 1, ask about the elves. You're then going to select option number 2, ask about the Saradomist wizards. You're then going to select option number 1, okay, I trust your judgment. And then you're going to select option number 3, ask about teleportation. So once you've done that, basically you've learned all 3 things you need to do from the wizard. So we now need to go ahead and return to Brother Samuel. This is a quick note though, that basically from now on we're going to start the combat stage, and there's not really going to be an opportunity to bank. So if you do need to go ahead and bank, what I'd highly recommend doing is, before you go back out to Brother Samuel, I'm going to have to go via Varrock. But obviously you can go up to Draenor, which is very close by as well. Go to a bank, make sure you've got some armour. Now if you're not at all sure how difficult the combat is actually going to be, what you want to do is maybe just, for example, watch the next 2 minutes of this video. I'll be showing you basically the first combat scene, and I think basically the combat, it doesn't get progressively harder, which is quite strange. There's just a few puzzles basically with doing the combat, and they aren't very difficult at all. So as I said, you want to head back to Brother Samuel. Once you are back at Brother Samuel, go ahead and talk to him, and then basically going to go ahead and show him your finding. Then select option number 2, the clues lead to a clear conclusion. Doesn't really matter what you pick here, so go ahead and choose anything. I'm just going to choose option number 1. You're then going to select option number 2, who said that? And then basically what's going to happen is something is going to come out the ground. Then going to continue on the chat, and then again it doesn't really matter what you choose here. I'm just going to select option number 1, why should I tell you? Select option number 1, someone killed these people. And then select option number 3, what's happened to death. Select option number 1, why does this concern you? Then select option number 4, continue. And then select option number 1, I'm ready to help. So what's going to happen here is basically these things are going to spawn in. I think they are basically zombies anyway. They do say they're level 7, however they're not actually level 7, I don't believe. They are like, they've got enough hit points, for example, to be readjusted to your level anyway. So make sure you're ready for combat. As you can see here, it's not a struggle at all. However, I do know that some lower levels might find it a little bit difficult to attack them. What you want to do is just go ahead and kill all 4 of them. It shouldn't take you too long to do, and also the person who spawned in Eclairn also helps you out as well, I believe. So what's going to happen after that is you're going to receive this item here, the invitation box. Select option number 1, we make a good team. However, you did do like all the killing. And then select option number 2, we should attend this ascension. You're then going to enter into a cutscene, and then basically all the monks are going to disappear. Continue on with the chat, and that'll very quickly finish. What you then want to do is go ahead and re-talk to Eclairn. So what we're going to do now is open up this invitation box. This is your last chance to go ahead and bank. This is going to teleport us out to a place which doesn't have a bank and is where a meeting is going to be happening about death. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it here, and then basically Eclairn is going to ask you, are you sure? And then what you want to select is option number 1, we must, death needs our help. And then you two are going to be teleported away. You're then going to be put into a cutscene, and this is basically where we're going to be at. As you can see, the meeting room is in front of us and it is being guarded right now. We need to gain entrance to this basically to complete the quest and free death. So once you finally exit out the cutscene, what you want to do is run north, as it is your only option. And then in the middle you're going to see Eclairn. What you're going to do is go ahead and talk to him. And then select option number 1, I want to continue to the Citadel. And then you're going to enter into another cutscene, and then basically what is going to happen is Eclairn is actually just going to be able to walk in. Eclairn already has an invitation. We need to get ourselves an invitation, and basically as you can see everyone outside is wanting to get in but they don't have invitations. As you can see, he just got access denied. So we need to go ahead and get ourselves an invitation. This is where basically the quest evolves around. So what I want to do is head to our west and then go up this ramp here, and then want to open up this large door. You're then going to land up in this storage room here with loads of boxes. First thing what you want to do is run up to your northeast, and then basically you want to view out the window. It actually automatically started for me just because I was looking at what I was needing to do. However, you want to view out the northeast window and then basically going to see down into the meeting. You can just skip through this, this isn't too important unless you're actually really interested in the storyline of death. So once you've done that, what you want to do is go ahead and go down to the southwest corner, and then you want to go and investigate a crate. So run across the room, and then basically there's going to be this here, there's going to be investigate the storage crate. What you're going to do is go ahead and investigate it, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to update your quest prompt. So the next thing what we want to do is exit out this room, because now we've got the information that we need. There's going to be random voices starting to say stuff out the wall. So what you want to do is along the south wall here, there's going to be this opening here. It's quite obvious. Basically there's a door out onto this sort of ledge here. What you want to do is go ahead and jump gap, and you'll jump a gap to the west. Once you've done that, what you want to do is run across planks. Just basically click where your feet are, and then you're going to run across all these planks here. What you want to do now is just continue a little bit to your west, and then you'll get the option to drop down the rock face. You'll then go down a tier. You then want to go north a little bit, and then you get the option here to climb this rock face. So go ahead and do that, and then you'll be back into the storage room, but this time from another angle. So finally what we want to do is climb through this obstacle here. This is basically just some boxes. And then once we're finally through here, what you want to do is go out into the room to the west. This is more of a garden area, I guess. And there's going to be another storage crate which we're going to go ahead and investigate. So from here what we want to do is exit out the door to the north, just go back inside and then run along to the door. You're then going to want to open the door, and then basically your screen's going to go blank and you're going to appear at the other side of the door. Run north and then open this next door. The screen's going to go black again, and then you can arrive in here and basically this person is going to start talking to you. So what you want to do is move forwards, and what is going to happen basically is these things are going to start attacking you. Now you can attack them back, but you're actually going to do no damage. So what you need to do is go ahead and pull all the 3 levers that are in the room. So there's one on the south wall there, one on the west wall here, and I believe there should be another one over here on the east wall. As you can see now, basically 3 beams of light have appeared. Now what you need to do is basically have not auto retaliate on, but what you need to do is lure them into the light, because you can only kill them when they're in the light. So as you can see, basically I need to get this one into the light here, like so, and then now I can actually cause some damage. You can only cause damage when the zombies are in the light, so make sure they're in the light or you'll not be able to do anything. As you can see, again, this one is a level 7, so it's not got a very high attack, but it does have a lot of hit points, because a level 7 would never have this large amount of hit points. Anyway, once that has happened and you've killed that first zombie, then 2 rangers are going to spawn. They're going to spawn in the lights actually to your northeast and northwest. Going to go ahead and kill them as well. Make sure they are in the light again. So once you've killed them all, what you want to do is go and view out the windows to the east, and then you'll basically be reviewing the meeting room. However, before that happens, unfortunately loads more of these stupid things are going to spawn in. Again, you're going to have to drag them into the light and go ahead and kill them. This can take some time, which is quite frustrating. So basically what I did is I just cut that part out just because it was very long. Once you've finally killed them again, you're going to want to view out the window. And then this time you're going to enter into a cutscene. I'm basically going to be looking back down into the meeting room where everyone is gathered. You're going to have to go through the chat yourself, unfortunately. Again, you can just skip this part out. It's not really interesting unless you're actually interested in the death plot, really. And then you'll eventually exit out the cutscene. So from this, what you want to do is go ahead and exit out of the room to the north, and then you want to follow the path basically to your northeast, and then you'll come to another room. So again, what you want to do is open that door and go through it, and basically you'll land up coming up to this viewing panel here. They're basically going to tell you what you need to do, however I'm just going to run through it with you. So as you can see in front of us here, there is a shadow, and what we need to do is make this shadow into sort of a Joker mask. What you want to do though here is select option number 2, what's this all about? Select option number 2, what do I do? And then it doesn't really matter what you pick here, I'm just going to select option number 2, it sounds fun. So basically what they've told us to do is we need to rotate basically all of these lights basically to go ahead and make ourselves a Joker mask, like I said. So what we want to do is go ahead and select the bottom left one, which is this one down here, and we want to rotate this once. You then want to go ahead and rotate the top left one, which is this one up here. You want to rotate this one twice. As you can see now, we're starting to get part of a Joker mask face there. You're then going to want to come along and do the top right one. You're going to want to rotate this one 3 times. And then finally, what you're going to want to do is rotate the bottom right one once. As you can see, there's basically a Joker mask, and that part is going to be done. You're going to be congratulated by these 2 masks on the viewing panel, and then that part is going to be completed. Before we leave the room though, what you want to do is go to the window at the south, and then you're going to want to view out it again, and basically you're going to see what's happening in the meeting room. If you've been reading it up to now, then this is just going to continue on from where it last left off. Because I've not been reading through it and I'm not really too interested in the plot, then basically I'm just going to skip through. Anyway, so once that cutscene is long last done, what you want to do is exit out of the room to the east, go through the door, and then you want to run down the ramp and go in a southeasterly direction, and then go through that door as well. So once you're in this room, you want to go ahead and talk to Death here, and then basically this is going to be loads of riddles. These riddles are very straightforward, but I mean I'm just going to tell you the answer to speed this whole process up. You can select option number 2, get to the point. Doesn't really matter what you pick here, I'm just going to select option number 2, a stupid riddle for a mask. Select option number 2, can I hear the riddle again? And then basically this is going to be our first riddle. So what you want to do is go ahead and search these chests. Now the first one we're going to want to do is search the first chest, which is the one to the east or to your right. What you're going to want to do is take sand out of that one, so select option number 3. You're then going to be given some sand, and then what you're going to want to do is go place it on this plinth over here, or this stand I guess you could say. And then basically Death is going to ask, is that your final answer? Select option number 1, yes it is your final answer. Well done, that is that part complete. So then you start to say the second riddle, so if you want to read through these you can if you want to. This one's just about sky really, not too difficult. This one's going to be water, so what you're going to do is search the second chest, and then you're going to take out water, option number 2. Now that you've got water, what you want to do is go ahead and use that on the stand again, or the plinth, and then select that as your final answer, and then well done, that one is also complete. So it's then going to finally say a third riddle. This one's to do with glass basically, and then he's going to ask what are you again. It's going to be a shadow this time, so shadow I believe is in the second chest if I'm right, it is. So select option number 1, take a shadow, then go ahead and use the shadow on the plinth, and then is that your final answer? Yes it is. And then basically he is going to hopefully let us through now that we've answered all 3 things correctly. Now the door's unlocked, but more importantly we got this invitation here basically to get into the meeting in the middle. So before we exit out the door, what you want to do is just go to the window to the west and then basically see how the meeting is doing. And then basically what is going to happen is then death is going to be in one of the cages. So finally, once that cutscene is done, what you want to do is exit out the door to the south, and then you're going to land up here on this wooden balcony. What we need to do from this wooden balcony is jump off the drop, and basically you should be dropping off the balcony and you should land in this sort of green area here. What you want to do is head in a westerly direction back into the main area, and then basically we're going to go ahead and try and enter into this room here. So what you want to do is just go up and talk to this person here, Guthan the Infest, and then basically ask if you can enter. Select option number 1, yes, you hand over your invitation, and then basically you'll end up going into the meeting room. Once you're in the meeting room, what you want to do is go ahead and talk to the person who's sitting in the chair here, Slisk, and then you can ask to let him out the cage. However, this is sort of not your meeting, you've sort of just walked in really uninvited, though you did have an invitation. Doesn't really matter what you select here, I'm just going to select option number 1, let Slisk carry on with his show. Select option number 1, make Slisk get on with his ascension. There's going to be quite a lot of dialogue there you need to go through. Once you get to here, basically what you want to do is select any option here. I'm just going to select option number 1, there's too many gods. And then basically here's where you pick sides. However, it doesn't really actually matter. I'm just going to select option number 4, side with Zamarok, because I've always been sort of a Zamarok in favoured person. Not at all sure why, I just have. And then you can enter into a cutscene. Now this part is actually kind of important. Basically what's going to happen here is the person's going to get very mad, and then sort of the whole place is going to go on fire. There's going to be a bit of a time limit here. What we need to do is go ahead and free Death out of the cage. So what's going to happen here is this other thing here. This isn't Death, this is the other thing. It's going to basically start blowing fire around the place. And to get to Death we need to get past the fire, which as you can see, I believe that thing is about to blow. So once you actually finally exit out the cutscene, basically it's going to say Eclairn is going to be shielding this. So what we need to do is go to our west. You need to move quite fast here. What you need to do here is come over here and step out the fire, because we need to basically get past this bit here. So I do apologise, it's the west actually. What you want to do is come up this west side here. You want to stamp out the fire where I just previously stamped it out there, and stamped it out. So basically you just want to come up this line here, and then you'll finally get to the cage. You want to unlock the cage, and then basically you will release Death. What you want to do from here then is you just want to run, follow basically Death background, and then talk to Eclairn. And then basically Eclairn's shield is going to eventually basically run out. However, Death is going to teleport all 3 of us away. And then we're going to land up here at Brother Samuel. So basically you're going to be given the option to continue on with the chat. Basically what you're going to want to do is go through all this again. This is again quite long. Unfortunately the chat in this quest is very long. Just hold down the spacebar to speed things up, like I'm doing right now anyway. And then basically both of them are going to teleport away. And then Brother Samuel is just going to be talking to you alone. What an awful day. And then there we go, that is the quest complete. So well done, you've completed it, missing presumed death. You're awarded with 2 quest points, a 1500 XP combat lamp, a 1000 XP agility lamp, 500 XP prayer lamp, a light shadow cosmetic mask and book of the underworld. You can also use your invitation box to teleport back to where we were at the Citadel and then receive an extra award. Basically, this is what I'm going to show you how to do here, because the rewards for the extra part is actually quite good. So if you want, you can stop watching now. Hope you have found this guide helpful. I'm just going to show you how to get the additional stuff, because the additional stuff is very good. So basically what the additional stuff is, you get 50,000 experience in feeding if you have more than 75 feeding. Temporary skill boost unfortunately will not work. You can also get yourself a 50,000 XP lamp in Constitution. That also requires 75 Constitution though. You can get a 30,000 experience antique lamp in any chosen skill over level 75, and you can also get yourself 2 new death animations and 30 brutal arrows and 30 barrows amulets, which requires 80 plus combat to obtain. So to get this, what you want to do is just open up your invitation box here and then select option number 1, yes, to go back to the Citadel. Once you arrive back here, what we're going to do is come back into the middle here and talk to the Statue of Death, and then basically this will give you the bonus rewards. So you can select option number 1, ask about the rewards, and then basically I think you just go through all the options here. I'm not really at all sure, so just go through the first one. As you can see, I got 3 additional lamps into my inventory. I've then selected option number 2 and I've got 30 barrows amulets. Select option number 3 and then option number 4, the new death animations. You can then basically choose which one you want to get. I'm going to select option number 1 here, and then I believe that is all the alternative or extra additional rewards obtained anyway. As you can see, if you actually go into your quest log, you can see the additional stuff listed there. Anyway, so that is totally the end of the quest now, so I hope you have enjoyed this. Hope this has helped you out. I did this quest because I'm about to do Dishonored Among Feed, so be looking out for that in the next few days anyway. If there's any other quests you want me to do, I'm all of a sudden doing a quest rampage right now, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. There's also a lot of quests that I've already done, so go check them out on my channel. And I guess that's really it for this video, so thanks for watching. My name is Hightower 5000 and I'm out. Adios.